From Little River to Pawleys Island, this 53 miles of coastline, known as the Grand Strand, offers unmatched variety.
South Carolina, baby! Woo!
A wide beach boardwalk, entertainment, nature preserves, 7 beach fishing piers, boat tours, opportunities to just chill or get a little wild.
This is how we do it! Texas!
So come with us, but hold on for dear life. For many, the perception of Myrtle Bch is the boardwalk area, the entertainment, which we'll cover next week, showing Broadway at the beach and Barefoot Landing, and all the attractions and parks, RV campgrounds within the city limits. In this video, we are going to show you the less crowded, more relaxed parts of the Grand Strand, the coastline to the north and to the south of Myrtle Bch. We'll start in the quiet fishing village of Little River, showing several boat tours, a great cable wakeboarding water park. We'll show what might be the best place to stay in the Grand Strand, in Cherry Grove, in these spacious beach cottages on the waterway, next to a nature preserve, with several nearby water sport activities, as we do a banana boat with the Smoky Mountain family. We'll take you to North Myrtle Bch, where we show Kokopelli Surf Camp, where you can learn how to ride the waves.
Let's hit the waves, bro!
We then go south of Myrtle Bch to another laid-back community, Surfside Bch, with a new renovated pier showing several beachside cafes. Then further down the coast, another quaint getaway, Garden City Bch. Into a must-do in your Myrtle Bch vacation is the Murrels Inlet Marshwalk, with several outdoor waterside eateries on a boardwalk, water sports, and boat tours. South of Murrells Inlet, we'll show Huntington Beach State Park, where you can walk deep out into the Atlantic on a jetty. We'll end our video at the south end of the Grand Strand at the more remote Pawleys Island. Our name is Tampa Aerial Media, but we film travel promos across the USA, with full features every 2 weeks and shorts in between. Have the most scenic drives of the East coming soon, as well as a Florida East Coast versus Florida West Coast video. And in the fall, a new Florida Keys series coming. So subscribe and click the notification bell to see all that and more. For channel members, which is just $3, we also post raw footage. Your memberships, super chats, and using our product links, and even the sharing of these videos to your friends, as well as liking, all help to pay for the expenses of producing these videos, and is greatly appreciated. And now, along with the Smoky Mountain family, we return to the Grand Strand. It's a gorgeous sunrise over the 2nd Avenue Pier, which is the south end of the boardwalk. We'll come back here in next week's video. There are 14 communities that make up the Grand Strand. This name came from a newspaper columnist in 1949, and the name stuck. Grand refers to the extensive beaches and its popularity as a tourist destination, and Strand, an Old English word for shoreline. We begin at the north end, at the North Carolina-South Carolina border, at Little River. This is a fishing village with fishing charters and several eateries with fresh seafood overlooking the river. There's Hurricane Jules, Sea Breeze's waterfront seafood restaurant, Mako's Marina Bar and Grill, and crab catchers with elevated dining decks. In May, they have the Blue Crab Festival, and in October, the Shrimp Festival. The Big M Casino yachts depart from here with a 5-hour day and evening cruise, 6 days a week at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. It is $20 per person, Saturday evening $30, and an additional cost for the buffet. For boat tours, there's the Sea Racer with a 90-minute dolphin tour that is $28 for adults, $18 for children 2 through 12, plus taxes and fees. There is also the Sea Screamer that is $31 for adults, $21 for children 3 to 12, but you get a $3 discount for booking online, so essentially the same price as the Sea Racer. You travel up the Intracoastal Waterway, right on the North Carolina-South Carolina border, out into the Atlantic Ocean. I did this with Bella in our previous video, at the end of April, which is when you first start seeing dolphins.
It's a whole family.
There's also Myrtle Bch Cruising Tikis, that is $100 for a 2-hour public cruise, or you can charter a tour, $400 for 6 people. You can also take a jet ski tour or rental with Little River Watersports, located next to Crab Catchers. Now, 3 miles down the Intracoastal Waterway, on US 17, the Little River Swing Bridge there in the distance. This is another area for boat tours and fishing charters. Or if you'd like to drop your own boat in the water, there's a ramp and parking under the bridge at the Harbor Gate Marina. There's Captain Archie's Seafood Bar and Grill. Here is the Southern Shores Catamaran Cruise. They have a 2-hour tour that also stops at an undeveloped beach. It is $30 to $38 per person, ages 3 and up. Or you can do a 2-hour guided jet ski tour for $175. Another mile down the river is the Voyager Deep Sea Fishing Charter and Dolphin Cruises. They are $38 for adults, $25 for children 3 to 12, for a 2.5-hour cruise. Before we take you to the beach, gonna head a little inland as we cross the Little River Swing Bridge here.
Just stay low. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Located just off Route 31 in the North Myrtle Bch Sports Park is the Shark Wake Water Park, where you can do wakeboarding pulled by a cable. If you haven't done it before, they offer lessons, which I felt I didn't need. I got this. After falling on my face the first time, was able to do it the second time. It is easier to do it on your knees to begin with, then progress to standing up. It gets tricky as you turn the corners because the cable gets a lot of slack. Then all of a sudden it tightens up and jerks you a little. But like anything, you eventually get used to it. But don't ask me to do any tricks. It is $45 for 2 hours, $20 for each additional hour, which includes all the gear. They also have Obstacle Island, an inflatable play park, which is $35.
Look at you. Girls are like, ah!
Or you can do an all-access $65 for 4 hours, which includes the wakeboarding and Obstacle Island. Head-first slides are not allowed. Dogs are allowed on the ground, and there's a dog park nearby too. Now let's take you to the coastline. Hog Inlet separates Pawleys Island with Cherry Grove. Cherry Grove is the northernmost part of North Myrtle Bch. There's a narrow stretch of land between House Creek and the Atlantic full of vacation rentals. This is an excellent place to stay because you are easy walking distance to the beach, and many of these beach houses are on the waterway that gives you access to the nature preserve. This is a good area for exploring. You can take a guided kayak and paddleboard tour through the salt marsh with Kokopelli Surf Camp.
Well, best of luck to you.
It's $44 for a single kayak or paddleboard and $70 for a tandem. They also do surf lessons. We'll show in a bit. And this creek is excellent for fishing with flounder, pinfish, and sea trout. The Smoky Mountain family stayed in this pet-friendly place right on the creek called the Dock House, a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with all the amenities of home. A nice deck overlooking the creek, plenty of outdoor seating, and fully equipped with all the recreational items you could ever need.
They have the loungers, and then they have a skimboard over there, paddles, life jackets. I mean, man, I've never seen anything like it before.
Even a crab trap, kayaks, which Bailey and I made full use of. It's an easy paddle to Heritage Shores Preserve on the Cherry Grove Marsh. There's no parking for this preserve, so you pretty much have to access it by staying in a vacation rental here. This dock house with taxes worked out to around $600 a day. Now for 12 people, that's not bad. And it was also during prime season. You can book on Airbnb. I put a link here. Book early if staying in the summer. The beach areas around the vacation rental are less crowded than they are around Cherry Grove Pier. By the way, dogs are allowed on most South Carolina beaches before 10 a.m. or after 5 p.m., May through September, and anytime the rest of the year. There's 2 beach piers on Cherry Grove. There's one at the Sea Cabin Hotel, but was damaged during Hurricane Ian. Yes, that's the hurricane that wiped out Fort Myers Beach we showed a couple of months ago. However, another mile down the beach is the Cherry Grove Pier, and it is open. There's the 19-story Prince Resort you can book on Expedia. There are 2 small public parking lots at the pier, and they do warn to boot your car if you don't pay. There is also free parking on the 2nd floor of the garage across the street. This is one of the best ocean piers on the whole East Coast for fishing. There's a full-service tackle, bait, and gift shop. Also, the Driftwood restaurant and bar open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It is $3 to walk out on the pier, or an additional $7.50 per rod to fish from the pier. Traveling down on North Ocean Boulevard, you have other resorts and vacation rentals. A half mile from the Cherry Grove Pier is where the Sea Mountain Highway Route 9 ends at the beach. Parking here can be a challenge. It's why it's good to have a place on the beach to stay at. Parking is $4 an hour March through October and enforced from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can rent loungers with the Cherry Grove Beach services. 2 chairs and an umbrella, $35 a day. It is here you'll find Aloha Watersports under this big tent for parasailing, jet ski rentals, and a banana boat. Now there is free parking for Aloha in a dirt lot just a couple of blocks from the beach. The parasailing is $82 per person, but we're going to do a banana boat, which is $25 per person for about a 30-minute ride. These are a great way to really experience the ocean. You signal to the jet ski that is pulling the boat how fast you want to go. On this day, the waves were pretty choppy, but we felt we could handle this, no problem.
Yeah! This is how we do it! Texas!
We had a rapid unscheduled disembarkment.
I guess we were balanced wrong.
I think we were too much on one side.
At the beach, there's Snooki's Oceanfront with an elevated deck overlooking the beach, and also Murphy's Bar and Grill with a deck right on the beach. Another couple of miles down the coast is the center of North Myrtle Beach. Main Street, a pretty lively place in the evenings on weekends, full of eateries and clubs famous for shag dancing, like at Fat Harold's or the OD Pavilion. On the beach is the Ocean Drive Beach Resort and Harold's on the Ocean, a low-key beach bar. There's Music on Main, a concert series features live music every Thursday evenings, June through September. And for loungers and other beach rentals, Cherry Grove Beach Services has a kiosk at the OD Pavilion. There's also arcade games, pool tables, and food with picnic tables at the Sunset Grill. And next door is Buoys on the Boulevard with burgers, seafood, sushi, and live music. Myrtle Beach might have the boardwalk, but I think North Myrtle Beach has the better beach hangouts. We showed the Kokopelli kayak tour earlier. Now it's time to show you the surf camp. It's named after Coco, a surfing dog, who may come out and surf as well. They have 3 different locations they meet in, 2 in North Myrtle Beach and 1 in Myrtle Beach. It is $55 per person for a 90-minute session. You start off with 15 minutes on the beach, learning the basics and stretching. Bailey ready to hit the waves too. Then you get an hour and 15 minutes in the water. They will guide you out into the ocean and show you exactly what to do to catch a wave and try to get up on your feet. So on this day, the waves were pretty choppy, so it was a little challenging, but still fun. Kids often learn it quicker than adults. They also have a 3-day surf camp for kids. That is $219 per person. Kids would definitely love it. It's well worth the cost. Further down the coast in the distance is Myrtle Bch, but we are going to head inland to a milkshake bar at Crazy Mason's.
Let's go to town and go to Crazy Mason.
We've shown these in our Gatlinburg and also our Greenville videos. There's also one in Myrtle Bch, but we are at the one in North Myrtle Bch. It's named for the mason jar that you get with the shake. They start making it using Bluebell ice cream and a creative mix of cookies, pies, sweet toppings, whipped cream, syrups. They have over 38 tasty desserts to choose from, and you can adjust them to your liking.
So this is the chocolate cheesecake with an Oreo cookie.
Dubai chocolate covered strawberry.
And Bella ordered, you gotta be pudding me.
While I always recommend to limit your sugar intake, once in a while it's okay to splurge. And when you do it at
Yeah. A pepper pretzel.
a mile and a half down US 17 from Crazy Mason's is Grumpy Monk's, a relaxed restaurant, sports bar, serving American comfort food, craft beers, with live music, and a small arcade. There's also one at Broadway at the beach. And another mile down US 17 is Coastal Scuba, with classes and scuba dive trips. But we are here with the Smoky Mountain family to find shark teeth and other fossilized treasures from the ocean.
When they come to the beach, shark teeth hunting is like one of the biggest things that they look forward to.
Yep, that's what we got so far.
Wow.
Like the cheapest one is like a 2-gallon bucket for like $29.99.
$39.
Or $39?
Up to $500.
Up to $500. They're selling stuff in there right now for like $200 and some. That's the money back right there.
While Barefoot Landing is in North Myrtle Bch, we'll see that in next week's video. Now, it's time to head to the areas south of Myrtle Bch. We travel 30 miles down the coast to Surfside Bch. This is another family-friendly beach with lots of vacation rentals through Airbnb. It offers a more quieter experience from Myrtle Bch, yet it's still close to the attractions and another great pier. Tents are allowed on this beach, whereas they're not allowed on North Myrtle Bch or Myrtle Bch. There's lounger rentals through Vacay Gear or Woody's Beach Rentals, which also rents golf carts. This Surfside Pier reopened in 2024 after being closed for 7 years from Hurricane Matthew. Parking at the pier is $4 an hour, and there's another large lot a couple of blocks from the pier. So more ample parking than North Myrtle Bch. And there's no fee to walk this pier. There's also an elevator, so very handicapped accessible, and an ADA crossover mat on the beach. This pier has a bait and tackle shop. It is $12 to fish from the pier. There's also Drippy's homemade ice cream, plenty of benches on the pier. And for food, there's the Surf Diner and the Whistling Duck, a wine and charcuterie bar. There's Scotty's Beach Bar with a deck overlooking the pier. On the other side of the pier is the River City Cafe with 2 decks overlooking the beach. Also public restrooms on the side at the parking lot. In the parking lot is Pizza Hyena with outdoor patio seating. And across the street, the Gracious Pig Smokehouse for some great Carolina cherrywood barbecue and a vintage gas station themed hangout. And next door, the Chimichanga Llama Cantina. And there's Bubba's Fish Shack for calabash fried fish, shrimp, and oysters. Another 2.5 miles down the coast, a similar quaint community, yet slightly different, is Garden City Bch, located in Murrells Inlet. If you are coming from the inland, you cross over the marshland on Atlantic Avenue. There's a nice, super long boardwalk along the roadway here. There's the old-fashioned Garden City Arcade near the pier, has retro games like Skee Ball and Pac-Man. This Garden City Pier is also free to walk, and for fishing, it's $9.50 for adults or $4.75 for children 12 and under. There's an ADA accessible ramp, whereas the Surfside Pier is more geared for just fishing. This pier has more entertainment, live music over the summer, with a bar and grill at the base of the pier and a snack cafe at the end of the pier. You can also rent loungers through Woody's Beach Rentals. While Garden City Beach is within the municipality of Murrels Inlet, from the pier, it is 3.5 miles of a residential peninsula to the actual inlet. Many vacation rentals you'll find on Vrbo. This is the South Strand, but also called the Hammock Coast, that extends from Myrtle Bch all the way to Charleston. There's the Gulfstream Cafe overlooking the marshes at the Marlin Quay Marina. There's Myrtle Bch Tiki's we showed in Little River. Also has tiki boat tours here as well. There's very limited public parking. In fact, probably only about 10 spots. And it's here at the corner of Dolphin Street and South Waccamaw Drive, which is a half mile from the inlet. Now on the other side of the inlet is Huntington Beach State Park. We'll show in a bit after we show Murrels Inlet Marshwalk, a look at the south tip of Garden City Beach. On the way to the Marshwalk is the Seven Seas Seafood Market. Also the Beaver Bar, a popular biker bar with an all-you-can-eat brunch. We enter the Murrels Inlet Marshwalk. It can get a little crowded in the summer on weekends. There's lots of great spots to have dinner and take a boat tour. Now you can see Garden City Beach in the distance. This Marshwalk is a half-mile long boardwalk and pier that extends way out into the nature saltwater estuary, where you'll see shorebirds like herons, egrets, seagulls, and pelicans. This area, as well as the restaurants, is very dog-friendly. There's Goat Island here, but the goats were removed in 2023 because of concern for their well-being. On this boardwalk, there's 10 eateries to choose from, some of the best restaurants on the Hammock Coast. Wahoo's Fish House for seafood and sushi and live music. Next to Wahoo's is Drunken Jack's, which a couple of you had recommended. And Bubba's Love Shack, a counter-serve eatery for fried seafood. J. Peter's Grill and Bar on an elevated deck. There's Creek Rats, a pub grub with dining inside or outside under these gorgeous trees. Also, the Dead Dog Saloon with an open-air covered deck or a completely open-air patio. Next door, the Inlet Beer Garden with over 60 craft beers. The Claw House is a classic upbeat lobster house. Out near the Marshwalk Pier is Sloppy Jose's Cantina and Seafood Grill. There's the Wicked Tuna and Sushi Bar with the Tuna Shack, a little tiki bar right on the pier. Now, if you like a little exercise while sightseeing and having a drink, try the Brew boat. It is $30 for a public 1-hour cruise, or charter the boat for $399 for up to 15 people. Express Watersports has an hour-long jet ski eco tour, $139 for a single or $189 for tandem. They also have a 35-minute banana boat ride for $30 per person, and also kayak and paddleboard rentals, and a 90-minute sightseeing cruise that is $28 for adults and $20 for children under 12. One of the most popular cruises is the Pied-Eyed Parrot. They do something unique in that you can board the boat 90 minutes before it departs for a dockside party with alcoholic beverages, frozen drinks, beer, wine, and cocktails. The cruise is 90 minutes long with upbeat music. It is $30 for the upper deck and $25 for the lower deck. There's a restroom on board. And there's the Visit Murrels Inlet Explorer with an hour-long sunset cruise that is $29 for adults, $22 for children 12 and under. Both the Pied-Eyed Parrot and the Visit Murrels Inlet cruises sail through the marsh waterways and along the barrier islands of Garden City Beach, where you see gorgeous homes. There's this UFO house built in 1976, designed like that to help withstand the hurricanes. It's a 2-minute walk from Gulfstream Cafe. All right, now let's bring you to the south side of Murrels Inlet. On the south side of the inlet is Huntington Beach State Park. Admission is $8 for adults, $4 for youth 6 to 15, free for children 5 and under. The wetlands inhabited by sea turtles, reptiles, alligators, shorebirds. The Kerrigan Nature Trail has long boardwalks over a lagoon, and the Sandpiper Pond Nature Trail, where you'll see egrets and herons. On the south part of the park is the Aloha Castle, which is an additional $2. This is a large 30-room Moorish-style castle built in 1933 by Arthur Huntington, a philanthropist, and his wife, thus the name for the park. There's RV camping here. Dogs are allowed in the park and on the south part of the beach, but not on the north part of the beach. We biked this in our previous video. It's about a 1.5 mile ride to the inlet. By the way, still using the same Kurgo G-Train dog backpack that allows you to bring a dog where you otherwise would not be able to. At the inlet is a super long jetty, maybe 0.2 mile walk to the end. Just across US 17 from Huntington Beach State Park is Brook Green Gardens, a botanical and sculpture garden with a history center, boat tours, and the Low Country Zoo. It is $22 for adults and $12 for children 4 through 12, and your admission is good for 7 consecutive days. Among the animals are alligators, eagles, goats, foxes, hawks, owls, river otters, deers, ducks, herons, and egrets. From June through August on Wednesdays and Saturday evenings, there is summer light where the gardens light up. That is $30 for adults, $14 for children. There's live music and food trucks. South of Huntington Beach State Park is Litchfield Beach. This is another mostly residential barrier island. While there are several public access points, very little public parking. And finally, we come to the south end of the Grand Strand at Pawleys Island. There's a good area for fishing here on the Causeway Bridge. This is 25 miles south of Myrtle Bch, and we are just 70 miles north of Charleston. This is the north end of Pawleys Island. Across the inlet is Litchfield Beach. There's no public parking on the north end here. There's a pier on Pawleys Island, but you have to be staying at the Pawleys Pier Village to access it. Pawleys Island is a 3.5 mile long barrier island. It's known as the oldest seaside resort in America. This is about the opposite of Myrtle Bch. There's no commercial developments here, other than 2 historic inns, one of them being the Pelican Inn, an 8-room oceanfront bed and breakfast. This island is certainly for the nature beach lovers. There's vacation rentals you can book through Vrbo. The biggest public beach parking lot is at the south end of the island. There's porta potties here. It's a little ways to the beach, so good to have a Timber Ridge beach cart. I put a link below. And yes, dogs are allowed on the beach here, and there's no time restriction like you have on North Myrtle and Myrtle Beach. You can swim here, but it's advisable to stay away from the inlet due to the currents. This, the very south end of the Grand Strand. So you see, there's more to Myrtle Bch than just a crowded boardwalk and Ferris wheel. Now, it's great to enjoy the nature, but when the evening approaches, it's nice to have entertainment. And that's what we're going to show next week, along with a few more nature areas within Myrtle Bch city limits and 4 RV campgrounds. While filming, I stayed at the pet-friendly La Quinta Inn on North Myrtle Beach. A pretty decent rate, good clean room. Was a good location, close to lots of fast food at North Myrtle Beach, with a Panda Express across the street. A 10-minute drive to Cherry Grove, and it's not far from Route 31, which allows you to travel as well to the places on the South Strand without going through the heavy Myrtle Beach traffic. Between these two videos, you'll see why there's so much variety here, why it's just ideal for a family vacation. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Myrtle Bch. You can use the description in this video as a guide for your Myrtle Bch getaway. I appreciate all your support, your comments, and the sharing of these videos. We are Tampa Aerial Media. If you'd like to purchase stock footage or to hire us to film your city, region, or vacation rental, contact me at info@tampaaerialmedia.com. Over the summer, I'd love to have a reason to go up north, like to Michigan, Maine, or even Ohio. So if you have a travel-related business you want featured, email me. Or also, if you have a vacation rental in the Florida Keys, we'd love to feature you in October or November in our series down there. From the Hammock Coast, I wish blessings to you, wherever you may be.